Mic'd up.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees Coast to Coast. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Mike Miller here, and Adam Schneider. Always happy to share nothing of great consequence.
So
with
you're wearing a
our
shirt that says, wait, you're wearing a shirt that says P-Town, and it says Cape Cod because it's Provincetown, but that's what they call the city where I live, Pleasanton, P-Town. Of course.
Really?
Yes.
These are
So
the things.
you can't have a yellow shirt that says P-Town.
Why? That's true. It could be dangerous. People will start thinking, what on earth happened there? All right, my friend. Hey, so what can we say other than this was a vastly uninspiring.
I have, wait. I have the laundry list. Listen to my laundry list of things that the Yankees accomplished at the winter meetings. You ready? Give me 5 seconds and I'll rattle them all off. You ready? Set, go.
I don't think I've ever heard Michael not use the verbosity that is his by nature for such a long period of time.
And what's really interesting about it is the most active teams since the season ended have been the Dodgers, which of course, right? The Orioles, who were very active this week, plus before the winter meetings when they traded away Rodriguez for Ward. The Red Sox, who signed Cease and made a couple of other minor deals. And the Blue Jays. And that's it. There's, the Blue Jays signed Cease, right? And then Red Sox traded for Gray. The Yankees have done nothing, and every team that they're competing with, except for the Rays, has done something.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty bad.
The only team I think that there's a ton of teams who did nothing. Obviously, the Tigers, the Royals, the Rangers had made the Nimmo Simeon trade. But other than that, all the teams that are contending in the East either did nothing or they're in the AL East and they did something. And the biggest loser so far for the winter is the Mets because they lost two players and all they did is trade Simeon for Nimmo. So
Which
it's
feels
really
to me like a real like a my problem for your problem. Neither I'm or not. That's wrong. It seems like a wash to me. I think that they weaken themselves in the outfield and strengthen themselves at second base, and
the way the Mets are looking at it, I think is they had a shorter amount of money that they have to pay to Simeon, and they have young infielders in Acuna and Vientos and Beatty, and there's one other guy that I keep forgetting. So that's what the Mets are thinking is that these guys will develop now. I don't think they're that upset about losing Alonso because they have Vientos, who was really good in 24, bad in 25, and then they have, as our friend Rich Weil told us, a guy named Clifford coming up in the minors.
Clifford. This is how he calls him. His name is Clifford.
That's he's got the thickest New York accent of anybody who's been in California for 30 years that I've ever heard.
It's amazing. My daughter's name is Bianca, and he calls her Bianca.
Yeah,
but anytime he uses the word
his
A,
accent is thicker than my mother's. His accent's thicker than my mother's. It's so interesting. My mother has never left New York, New Jersey metropolitan area.
I think it's very Sheepshead Bay, very, very, very Brooklyn.
Yeah, but his brother doesn't have it.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's not his brother's accent's like mine at this point. It's not severe or anything like that. It's just
too bad he never would listen to our show, so he has no idea we're making wonderful fun of him.
I think he listens under 74 different names, and that's our entire following. Regardless of that, I do think, despite the fact that the Mets lost, I think the Mets are going to make a play for both Tucker and Bellinger. But I think Bellinger is now the more attractive player to them because he plays center field and Tucker does not.
And
Tucker only plays. The other thing is Tucker plays right field, and people said he doesn't like to move to left field. Well, doesn't want to move. Well, if he doesn't want to move, guess who the DH becomes this year for the Mets? Juan Soto. Soto, who went 30-30. Who went 30-30 last year. So,
Well, he's
but
he's he's a great hitter. That's not a problem. He's
yeah, but
still
he
a
stole 30
terrible right
bases.
fielder.
They stole 30 bases, and then the Mets fired the base running coach.
Yeah.
That's the guy the Yankees should get because the Mets turned into a good base running team. But anyhow, back on our team, the Yankees. Um,
Nothing to say. Why don't we just talk about the
yeah,
Mets?
but Cashman came out again today. Today, in talking to a guy named Doric Sam.
Dork.
Yeah. The Yankees don't have an open blank checkbook for MLB free agency contracts. Brandon Cutie. Yankees operate as an aggressive franchise, but that is not an open blank checkbook either, said the Yankees. Already have some very large commitments, and that the Steinbrenners are massively committed. So Cashman went back to, we're not just giving away the house here. But they haven't, they didn't, Bellinger's not gone. And again, it comes back to what we talked about yesterday. I think the Yankees are going to deal. I don't think they're going to sign. And I think they're going to make a big play. And then I sent you a text earlier today. There was the beat writer for the San Diego Padres on MLB Network on one of their 74,000 hot stove leagues. Talk about a network that's totally bummed out because they got nothing done when the Rule 5 draft is their highlight. He said that AJ Perla is under. See, I said it with a New York accent. AJ Preller is under instructions to lower the payroll.
So
And the team is
liquidation.
for sale. The team is for sale still, and instructions to lower the payroll. And one of the guys that they want to trade, this guy is a beat writer. He said he speculates the guy that they want to trade is Nick Pivetta, but that's also counterintuitive because the other instruction he has is to get starting pitching because they lost King. And Cortez is Milwaukee. So they lost King, and they don't have that good of starting pitching. So their instructions are to get starting pitching. Also, they're going to lose their closer, but they have Mason Miller to fill in the gaps there, and a couple of other guys who could be the setup guys. So it's really interesting that the Padres, if they really want to dump salary, the Yankees can take on their biggest salary of a player who will be around for a long time. And that would be the guy I referenced yesterday, and Tatis Jr. I mean, I don't think they want to trade Sherrill because he's young, controllable, and not that expensive. I don't think anybody wants Machado's contract. Pivetta, maybe. They're not trading Mason Miller. He's got, 4 more controllable years, and he's a stud closer now. So they don't really have much to trade if they're really looking to reduce salary. And like I said yesterday, and Cronenworth makes $12 million. He's like their third or fourth highest paid player. Oh, and they're losing a Rise as well this year, who made 14 last year. So they're already going in the right direction. But the other team that's still hovering, and it's the other message I sent you, is the Dodgers are more than $40 million less in payroll right now than they were last season.
Which is
And that's amazing to me. Even with signing Diaz, because they lost. All right, so this is what they lost off their payroll. Kirby Yates, 13. Conforto, 17. Kershaw, 16. Kiki Hernandez, 6.5, although he might come back. Muncy re-signed, but it's $4 million less than last year. Evan Phillips was at 6.1. Tony Gosselin was at 5.4. And Michael Kopech was at 5.2. Then they lost a whole bunch of other guys in the $1 million range. And the only guy that's adding to their payroll that's still on the team is Trinan, is up $5 million. So all the rounding for all the players that, with their second and third year minimums, the Dodgers are net in the neighborhood of $42 to $44 million below last year. And how much money does Tucker want? 9 years, 360? Isn't that what he wants? And how much is that? 40 million.
40 million.
And they said that they would like to get out from under Teoscar
it's
Hernandez's contract, but reality is I don't know anybody that would take him, although it's short term, so a team that wants a righty power hitter on a short-term basis that's going backwards defensively, but could also be a DH and is clearly a stud playoff performer, is somebody they can use. And that's a player the Tigers can use, but he plays the wrong position because they have a pretty good outfield. The other thing that I read earlier today is the Mets have an interest in another former Yankee besides Bellinger, a gentleman by the name of Paul Goldschmidt, which is fine. But who knows what they're really going to do. But the
No, I mean,
Yankees did a whole lot of
I
nothing.
stand by my thinking from last night. My statement is that the Yankees are going to make an out of the box, off radar deal that's going to be significant, because they really cannot. I mean, this is bad timing for them to be going in with this. This is,
It's actually
you know,
not. It's actually not that bad of timing. I mean, the only guy that's out there. I mean, yes, they do need some bullpen help, but the only guy that's out there is Bellinger. That really would make a meaningful difference for them. Trading is the
Mhm.
best way for them to improve the team, and they probably can keep the payroll lower by making trades. So I do. And yesterday after you made all your comments about the prospects and the Yankees being middle of the pack, but have had some doozy of losers. Um, and then today the Padres beat writer said Preller is going to be active now that the meetings are over, which I think is hilarious. Um, it will be interesting to see if the Yankees play with the Padres. I mean, they did play with the Padres with the Soto deal. They may not be happy with the Yankees with the Soto deal because, quite frankly, other than King, who's now walked away, there's only a couple of guys left in that deal that are still with the Padres.
Mhm.
So they may already know Yankee prospects are not all they're cranked up to be. But if the Yankees have a pairing up with them, that'd be great. If the Cubs can
Yeah.
sign Bregman, that would be great because the Yankees could pair up with them as well, um, regarding things that they need. I still think, and what was interesting is also listening to the MLB radio guys. They were doing one of these losers, winners, and for the losers, are you worried or panicked? And for the Yankees, they said they're worried. But all of them said the way the Yankees can get out of their little problem is trading. And everybody except for Phillips on the show said that they expect a regression from Rice because of his struggles against left handed pitching. And they said his defense at first and catching is below average at best,
Mm.
which is what I've been saying. So I felt good, except Steve Phillips disagrees with those guys. But as a left-handed half of a platoon, he's going to hit 25 home runs. I don't doubt it. And that's why I think he's got value. And I think the Yankees' first base is a place where they can replace him. It's a replaceable spot. But the other thing that I want to, do you have anything you want to add or no? You're done for the day already.
No, I'm just very, my feeling is that they are, that the teams that are making these moves, like the Mets, and I bring them up because I think the Mets have just made it infinitely harder for the Yankees to
Mm-hmm.
have a good offseason, because the Mets, everybody's screaming and yelling. All the Met fans are angry that they lost three of their most favorite popular players, but you know what I think is clear is they've also removed. They decided not to spend $50 million on these two guys, and that's $50 million that can be used very easily someplace else. And what I think is going to happen is you're going to see Boris begin to really push Dodgers and the Mets on Cody. Cody's price tag might go up, especially
I think it was
if
going up. I mean, yeah, and I agree. And that's why I think the Mets are players for both um, Tucker and Cody because they need a center
yeah.
fielder, and Cody would be their center fielder. He could also play some first base for them if they need him to, and they have no center fielder.
So the Mets also need pitching, and Amaya is going to be relatively cost effective in this market. Though the Mets are known not to ever want to go for like long term deals on starters, so which is really a mistake because and the problem is long-term pitching, long-term deals on is a necessary evil in our game just because of the way it's designed. Until they get away, until they're able to really build maybe a larger roster, and then more focus on the openers, and make that work, then you're always going to have this problem where you've got these guys who are just incapable of eating innings. And so the idea of going to these guys like Holmes, you just can't strike lightning in a bottle. You have to do both. You can't just say no across the board. If the Mets ever get that, get a clue on that, they'd be able to afford to pay for these guys. A guy like Amai could be that guy who steps in. I hope the Yankees still go for him. I think the Yankees need starting pitching badly, because I
I
don't
think
think we're
that,
going to get.
I mean, unless the Yankees are sitting back and really believe that some of these guys that are 26 ready will be stepping in. One of the things I heard Boone say on the radio was looking at the Yankee schedule, the Yankees are very seriously considering when do they really regularly need a fifth starter. If they don't regularly need a fifth starter until the middle of May because of the schedule and the days off, Yarborough becomes their de facto fifth starter for the 2 or 3 times or even 4 times that they need to get through the rotation. Whereas, and I don't know the Yankee schedule, I haven't looked at it, and I would have thought Boone would have known this by now. If the Yankees have a tight schedule in April, then they would need a fifth starter earlier. And they would definitely need to get a real starter and not a Ryan Yarborough type. But
Mhm.
I think the Yankees are banking on the fact that they think Rodon will be back in May. And Rodon's recovery history from injuries is not good. He has a tendency to miss more than they thought, and it's a forearm with him, isn't it? Or is it what is it with it? It's forearm, right?
Um, yeah, I think that's what it is. They had all
And
kinds of. He said it was
that's
ugly.
just precursor to Tommy John. I
Yeah,
mean, that sounds like Cole from a year ago.
yeah.
So Cole at the end of at the end of the 24 season. Oh yeah, he'll be okay. Come the spring training. Oh, one start into spring training. TJ.
Well, that's what they all do, and
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Judge to have that this year. that's
Well, if
my
Judge has an
that's my
injury,
big
I news
fear.
for you. No matter what the Yankees do, if Judge has an injury, they're toast. That's the bottom line on that. Because you can't lose your best player. Even in baseball, losing the guy that is that much ahead of everybody else is going to kill you. And especially on the Yankees where they don't have depth, where somebody's going to even stand in and step in and hit 25 homers. That would mean Jones has to really be the guy, and that's counting on a lot. The other thing about the winter meetings, which are over, I thought they were a week long and they're 3 days long, is the Yankees didn't lose any of those Rule 5 guys that everybody predicted they would lose. The major league level Rule 5 guys.
But
They
does
lost
that
a couple
create
of
a
low level
problem for
guys.
their roster if they can't get rid of? Don't these guys
No,
have
those
to be
guys
somewhat
those guys are not
productive?
on the guys in the Rule 5 draft. They're not on the 40 man. That's why they're available. They either have to be on the 40 man or they're made available in the Rule 5 draft. And once they're not picked in the Rule 5 draft, the Yankees get to keep them. So what is it? Lalang, Beck, and Carr, who are AAA guys that are allegedly ready in 26, are not going to be off the Yankees all of a sudden. So that's a good thing for the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot. Not. I wish I could say that this was going to be a really fun time. There was a lot of good things happening. I was hoping for more. There's not a lot to say here, buddy. We're like kind of stuck. There is. I think that they are working on something that I know they're working on something. It's going to happen. It's just,
I
are
hope
we
they,
going to like
I
it or
hope they're
not?
working. I hope they're working on something. How's that?
Yeah.
But with Boone,
Yeah.
keep coming back to that. So I was looking at the pre-winter meetings articles, right? So realistic. There's 2 articles I found that were interesting on the MLB on the Bleacher Report or MLB site. There was one article that was realistic expectations for the winter meetings,
Hmm.
and then there's another one was called the Dream Script for the winter meetings. So here's what was on the this will be good winter meetings. This is what we can expect. Schwarber back with the Phillies. Hey, they got it right. The Cardinals unload their remaining veterans. Cardinals didn't do not only did not unload their 3 veterans, they didn't unload any of their veterans.
Hmm.
The Red Sox signed Pete Alonso. Well, Alonso signed, but with the Orioles. The Rays trade away Brandon Lau. There was a lot of noise about that during this. Is it Lau or Lowe? Whatever his name is, the one that has the E.
Low.
Brandon, yeah, Brandon Lowe. That the Rays trade him away. There was a lot of noise on that, but it hasn't happened yet. And then it says Kyle Tucker signs, but not with the Blue Jays. Well, he hasn't signed anything, and that makes sense. The Mets signed one starter and traded away another. They thought the Mets were going to trade Senga, which is interesting because if I'm a Japanese pitcher, I'm not going to go to the Mets because Senga went from being their stud to getting hurt, and now the Mets are looking to get rid of him, and that doesn't seem fair. The Orioles signed Suarez from the Phillies, the starter Robert Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen. And that Joe Ryan would get traded from the away from the Twinkies. So they didn't have anything outlandish. And a couple of the, Alonso signed someplace else. Schwarber, they got Nets on. Low, his trade value is out there. Tucker's going to sign. He's just not going to sign now. The Mets didn't do anything in the winter meetings except lose two players. The ridiculous things that they predicted were really funny. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Bregman to the Cubs, which is not that ridiculous, which would actually be good for the Yankees. The Red Sox get Ketel Marte from Arizona, which there's been noise around that, but there's been noise around the Yankees trading for him, which is interesting. The Reds signed Kyle Schwarber, which the Reds wouldn't go to the extra year for Schwarber. He wanted 6 years to go to Cincinnati, and he didn't get it. So that's why he stayed with Philly. He stayed for the 5 years. He stayed with Philly, all things being equal. And the offer by the Pirates was equal in money, but only 4 years. The Phillies, once they lose Schwarber, are going to turn their attention to Cody Bellinger, and that the Yankees sign Amai, and Tucker goes to the Blue Jays, and that Edwin Diaz goes to the Blue Jays, and Skubal goes to the Mets. That was their big, if we had to make a fantasy thing. So really nothing happened.
Yeah. And really bad for our show because I think our ratings are going to go down.
Do you really? Can they get any lower?
I mean, we're already nobody will sponsor us now. Do you think it's going to help us in our effort to find a paying sponsor to make us millionaires?
I didn't know we
Well,
were
you're
looking
already,
for a paying sponsor.
yeah. So
What
now
I
that we're
found,
looking for it, now I was
so
really going to think. I thought this was going to be our opportunity. I also want to say something else. You got to really feel bad for the Yankee guys. I don't know. For all of you out there, I just want to ask: has anybody seen an episode of Yankees Hot Stove lately?
I've seen a
It's
couple. It's great.
it's so embarrassing because they're all pissed off. Like they're like, what do you think? I don't know. And they have all the usual suspects, and they're all saying the same nothing of consequence. And then you've got
Well, they
like,
started out with a house of fire,
yeah,
but Curry and Kay before the winter meetings both said, "Don't
this is gonna
expect."
be. They said now they're standing by what they said and said, you see, we knew. And then you've got like, you got nothing to do. They got nothing to talk about. Like I said, they're talking about, Michael K's airline. It's like nothing to talk about here. And you got to feel bad. You got to wonder how the yes folks are feeling. I bet they were so happy to get out of there and get that set broken down. It really
I
is. It
wonder
is.
what their next. I mean, what are they going to do next week? I mean, they do a hot stove show twice a week when it's not the winter meetings, but they were doing daily, expecting some stuff to happen. But
Yeah, I think that the hope was. I think there is certainly hope that they're going to do. There'll be a big moment, something that's going to happen. But from a fan's perspective, it's a little frustrating. But also, whatever happened to the winter meetings was something to really look forward to. I
and
remember
I thought they
years
were a
past.
week. I thought they were a week. Now they're 3 days.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not even Wednesday. I mean, that's really it. It used to go to Thursday, so they definitely cut a day.
Yeah,
It was a
people.
little
Well, they
bit
cut
more.
it down. People used to leave on Thursday night, Friday morning.
Yeah, but anyway, so I don't think there's really
It's
much
just.
else to say other
By
than
the way,
we
here's
should
our
do better.
ratings, just to give you a hint of our ratings as far as views on YouTube. And we thank those of you who are watching on YouTube. On our
We really
first
do.
winter meetings day one, which was a whole lot of nothing going on, which pretty much sums up the whole week, 62 people. And yesterday's show, we had 63 people.
Very
So we're
bored
going
people.
up. We're going up.
I think that's you clicking on it 63 times. You
I
click
don't
it
click on it at
63
all.
times.
I don't
Then
click on it
I
at
don't think
all.
I've ever watched our show after the fact. I'm too
I, I
embarrassed.
I I only watch it to edit it, and yesterday's show I divided it into three parts. But yeah, it's sort of like I watched the videotape from fantasy camp of us playing, and I swear to God, it's in slow motion.
Well, because we are. What it's always
No,
hard
I
for me to
think we're
watch is
fast and it's
myself
in slow
running.
motion.
To me, when I'm running, I'm like a gazelle. Like everything's moving. My long hair is flowing in the back, and I
Yes, your
carry
long
and
hair is
push,
flowing. Your
carry
long
and
hair.
push.
The only thing I'm thinking is the long hair on your back is flowing.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like an undulating, you know, thing of beauty as I run base to base, turning the corner, cutting the corner perfectly. I see it on TV, and it's like my grandfather getting out of his wheelchair, to run 12 feet, falling down and getting up again. That's how I look, and it's just very hard to watch, very painful, really is. Anyway, on those notes, very personal here. We went in a new direction here on Yankees Coast to Coast.
We were
So
bumming out and
because we
stuff.
have nothing to say. But anyway, Michael, I want to wish you a happy Yankee, happy whatever this week is called,
Winter
winter
meetings.
meeting week, and let's hope that we're going to get back on the air soon with something because our sponsors are going to be demanding.
I know. I think Rich should get his bank or credit union to sponsor us. What do you think?
Great idea. It's a great idea. I think maybe Pfizer. Somebody's going to want to jump in
I
and
think
say,
there's better chance of
hey,
Pfizer because of what is that the
hey,
Viagra reference you're making with Pfizer?
that's right. And this is a very expensive set, by the
Oh,
way.
look at
The
my
upkeep.
walls.
I love your white wall. It's very
Well, I'm
anyway.
in my temporary office because I've been waiting to get new furniture and we just haven't gotten it. But when I was in the extra bedroom, I had my little Yankee flag and bobbleheads everywhere.
Yeah,
So, but not anymore.
not anymore. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Have a nice night. Have fun in jail,
Good
and
luck in prison.
we'll talk again soon. Are you going to push the button? Because I think we both pushed at the same time.
I'm
We
pushing the
created.
button. We
We
need to both push the
basically
button. If
it
we
was
if
like
we
fail
both
safe the
if we
movie.
both push at the same time, I think the mic'd up app would explode.
If we both push the button at the same time, I think bombers are going to take out Moscow. So we have to really be careful.
I just think the mic'd up app is going to explode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.